What is going on, everybody? This is the Nerdy Jock, and I want to say if you're watching this, I'll give you my thanks. You could be anywhere in the world, but you're here with me, and I appreciate that. A lot to get into, like an excessive amount. So let's just skip the pleasantries and jump right into it. So my channel is called the Nerdy Jock, is for a reason. I love sports, and I love the world of nerdom. And I'll talk about some huge things that happen in sports today, monumental things. I'm very excited. So let's jump into it. Let's skip the foreplay. Take off your clothes. Get on the bed. This is do it. Let's get into it. My New York Knicks are in the finals. I'm 37 years old. I have been a fan of New York Knicks since I was a kid. Now I stopped watching basketball. I once Kobe left, Vince Carter, Carmelo, AI, Shaq, Garnett, Paul Pierce, the guys I grew up watching, Tim Duncan, that I loved, that I respected. They left, became Hall of Famers, became coaches. There's no reason for me to watch. I'm not a LeBron fan. I don't like the guy. I respect him, sure, but I don't like him. I don't think he's the best. He's not in my top three. And I know some people think, and listen, I am the biggest, just, it aggravates me. People say things to be a contrarian. And I respect LeBron. I think he's a wonderful player. I think he may be a a a player that we might look back on and say, oh yeah, he's definitely a top five. Maybe top three, but top two, no. No, not for me at least. He never will be. But so when all my favorite players left, all I had left was LeBron. Golden State Warriors, that was fun. It was a whatever, but you had all these super teams, and the NBA. It was like when you're in a relationship with a girl, right? First start dating her, she's one way, you fall in love, and then 20 years later, she's not the same person. Neither are you. Neither are you. You're not the same person, and neither is she. On the NBA, that's what happened. She's not the same girl that I knew when I was a kid. She changed. And to be fair, I have too. So my dislike for the NBA, not dislike, but my love for the NBA just wavered and dissipated. But love for my Knicks never have. I love my Knicks. And to see them in the finals, to see them have a chance to win a championship. I'm making my dates a little bit off. I'm excited. But 1973, I think is the last time they won a championship. 1998, 99 was the last time they ever been to one. They didn't win it, but they went there. This is the first time in my adult life. And I was there through Carmelo years. When Carmelo came, I was the one hooting and hollering, okay, this is it. We got Carmelo, we're going to be good. But we never really were. So, all I'm saying is this. For the first time, my Knicks are in the finals. My Knicks are there. We have a chance to win. Spurs are good. Spurs are good. Wemiana is a amazing player. I think he's a talented young player. He's going to be one of the league's best. But my Knicks have made it. And for the first time, I really have a chance to see them win. And that what makes me happy. That's what makes I've waited my whole life for this. And I'm not a fan of the NBA anymore, the current NBA. as it is. But I'll never stop being a fan of my Knicks. So go Knicks. Someone Spike Lee is smiling. And you know what? I am too. Yeah, that's special. To be a lifelong Knicks fan and to see this so close. But we'll see. Hey, we got a whole series ahead of us. So let's wait to see what happens. Other thing. Okay, so going on and let's move on from that. Go Knicks. I don't want to get ahead of myself. I don't want to set myself up for failure. I just don't. I've been if you're a Knicks fan, you understand. We've been hurt so much. So let's see what happens. Going to the world of NFL. The Cleveland Browns and the Los Angeles Rams have done something that I think is monumental. They did a trade. In that trade, the Cleveland Browns sent over they sent over Myles Garrett for, I don't remember exactly. I know it was one first and a few other picks, which is amazing. I mean, they stole them. They stole them. So, and then the Browns, other than the picks, they get Jared Verse. So here we are. We have what very well may be the very best defensive player of his generation outside of Aaron Donald on a team that was in the NFC Championship last year with a chance to finish his career, which he's in the twilight in, the chance to finish his career as Super Bowl champion. And if they have any chance, talking about LA now, if LA has any chance to take down Seattle and those NFC teams, they needed a potent pass rush. And they got the best pass rush in the league now. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say, hey, LA fans, get your tickets to the Super Bowl today. But I would say their chances of going there have increased dramatically. And they were already a good team. This definitely puts them. This feels like the. I don't even know. It feels like almost like the Reggie White trade. I was a young kid when that happened. But it felt like the Reggie White trade when he went from Philadelphia to Green Bay. And we looked at Brett Favre, this young quarterback, looked at the team, and we said, damn, they're going to win. They're going to win the Super Bowl. And they did. Went to back-to-back Super Bowls. So they didn't win back-to-back. They got the second Super Bowl. They ran into that, amazing Broncos, John Elway Broncos team. But this feels special. The fact they got him for only one first round. Now, I know it was other picks concluded, but for Myles Garrett, it only sent one first round draft pick. That's incredible. That's amazing. And what this does for Cleveland as well is gives them the opportunity to stack up on picks. I think they're going to give the reins to this Deion's kid. They're going to see what he can do. If he can't cut it, I think they're going to go full-fledged rebuild mode get 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 rid of him, and next year's quarterback draft should be a lot better than this one. So they're going to go and they're going to, in my opinion, if this kid doesn't work out, just start anew next year. And they'll have the capital to move up or down if they want. I don't think they'll move very far. I don't expect they're going to be very good. Also, David by Garrett. All he wanted to do was have the ability to win a championship before he retires. He's been loyal, and except for last year where he requested the trade, he's never complained, he's never bitched, never cried or whined, never did woe is me, I want to... But now he has a chance. He has a chance to really solidify himself as one of the best defensive players by taking the LA Rams to a Super Bowl. And winning. So I don't know. I'm happy. I'm happy he has a chance to go to a team that, let's face it, the NFC West is stacked. The 49ers are great. Obviously Seattle's great. I mean, but they lost what, 1 or 2 guys in free agency, and that was it. In order to get over that hump, just in their division alone, they needed a big splash. This is a big splash. Like I said, Myles Garrett may go down as, if not the best, the second best defensive player of his era. So this is special. I'm very pleased that this happened. I think this will give a team that was on the cusp of winning the Super Bowl that extra firepower needed to win it. And I think it give a team, meaning the Cleveland Browns, that were obviously going nowhere. What they needed is some extra picks to have some wiggle room in the next year's draft. They want to move up. They want to go to. If they have a quarterback that they really like, that they want to pick. The Jets are still the Jets. Jets are the worst team. Not just NFL but all pro sports. So, you have the Jets that may very well get the first overall pick. You have some other teams, the Giants, that may be competing for the first overall pick. Which my Giants just, I can't believe we had this guy as a quarterback. I'm ashamed and I'm disgusted, but hopefully this guy doesn't last too much longer. Everyone was kind of on his dick last year, and I'm like, I mean, when you've had a terrible quarterback play as we've had, anything looks good. It's like when you're single and you haven't had a date in a while, you go to the club, the girls you normally wouldn't even give half a glance to, all of a sudden start looking like supermodels. Like, come on now, give me a break. He's not a long-term answer. And thank God for that too. I don't want him on my team. It's disgusting. So, but anyway. So you have a few teams that can challenge the Browns for the top 1, 2, or 3 picks. The Cardinals, the hell are they going to do next year? They don't even have, Kyle Murray. Yeah, Miami. That kid they got from Green Bay, he had a few good games, sure. That is no way, shape, or form even remotely an indication he can, run a team. So, it's a good day for football. If you're a football fan, you should be excited. Maybe not so much a Cleveland Brown fan, but I mean, you're used to this anyway. So what am I saying? You're used to this. I'm sorry. I really am. I wish, you know, that team actually tried to win once in a while, but here we are. And the next big thing that happened within the world of sports was AJ Brown got traded from the long, rumored trade from Philadelphia to um, New England. Now this been going on for months. It's been rumored. People talking about this. People have been saying that the Patriots were extremely interested. And so when it finally happened, it was more so like, oh, okay, the rumor was true. It happened. I think it was the first and the fifth, if I'm not mistaken. So, not much to say. Obviously, he wasn't happy. Now, I've heard on other people's shows that Hurts was divisive in the locker room. The team didn't fully embrace him. They weren't extremely happy with him. And AJ Brown and him did not get along. So this was just probably what needed to happen. I'm sure that a coach and AJ were maybe had a good relationship, maybe they didn't, but you gotta choose your quarterback, and they did. They chose Hurts over AJ, got rid of him, and now he's on. Now he's in New England, and I think he's a good receiver, especially for a very young quarterback like Drake May. I think he'll do well there. So definitely I would say it was a good trade, and that's everything for sports. I have for today. Um, a lot happened, lots going on. I look forward to. It's good to have some type of news. NFL. It was getting rough. We still got all of June, July, most of August before we get any real NFL action. So this is at least something, a little, a little, a little taste of something while we wait for NFL season to return. Now, going to the other half, in the world of nerdom, we have a lot going on. I don't think I covered the Green Lantern trailer on here. I don't say I loved it. I love the new one. It's almost as if James Gunn heard everyone's criticism and he decided to address them all in one trailer. I was interested before, but now I definitely am excited to see this show. I think it looks amazing. So we'll see what happens. And if this newest trailer is any indication, it's going to be great. Still no trailer from, I'm not even going to, fuck Marvel. I mean, really, I'm a fan. I'm always going to be a fan. But this time released a Doomsday trailer. They released the Vision Quest trailer to a room full of billionaire execs and everything, and the fans just don't get anything. So, I mean, am I still gonna watch it? Sure, I'm a fan. I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna watch the whole show. I'm gonna watch Doomsday. But I don't like how they're treating the fans. I really don't. That's either here nor there. But on another part of Marvel, another part of the universe, Spider-Noir came out, and very unexpectedly, they dropped all 8 episodes at once instead of doing the episodic route of week by week. It was all released, all 8 episodes released at once in a year where we have so many great superhero shows. We have, hey Terry, we have Wonder Man to start off the year, great. We have, what else? Terry, stop. Lost my train of thought. We had, of course, The Boys. Mixed reactions to The Boys. But ultimately, I think that show was good. We had Invincible, which Invincible was amazing. And why am I drawing a blank? Oh, Daredevil. Born Again Season 2. Amazing. So we got some amazing shows, and yet, in this surplus of great NFL, great superhero shows, Spider-Noir may be very well the best. It was amazing. It was spectacular. And in all seriousness, it was a wonderful show. All 8 episodes were amazing. The feel for the 20s that it gave, the costume design, the way it was shot, the dialogue. Nicolas Cage's performance was so just. Obviously, Nicolas Cage is a great actor, but he really went for it all in this performance, which I truly appreciate. I think that's something very special. And he really went for it, and he really gave it his all. And he really had, he was a perfect person for this. His delivery, his passion, and everything was just simply, I can't envision anyone else performing that role the way he did. The actress, the lead actress, I forget her name. She's a lady from Sinners. She's beautiful. Oh gosh, she's gorgeous. So seeing her, seeing the villains, everything was just amazing. It was so well done. The energy was so awesome. Everything was so just, I don't know. Everything about it was almost perfect. Almost perfect. I'm trying to think of a negative. I really can't. Everyone's performance there was amazing. Everybody did a phenomenal job. Everyone gave their best effort, and every person was just excellent. It may be the best superhero show in a year like this that is saying something, because we've had so many good ones. So Spider-Noir, if you haven't seen it, it may be the best of the year. In a year that's already full of great superhero shows, that's saying something. What else? One thing I want to say, one last thing. I'm a huge horror fan. In some ways, horror, superheroes, there's a lot of similarities. Monsters, witchcraft, evil aliens. There's a lot of things that you can say are very similar. I mean, the Hulk was a knockoff, a mix between Frankenstein and Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde. Ghost Rider, Blade, Moon Knight, um, Batman lends, his stories lend themselves a lot to, horror stories. So there's a lot of overlap between horror and superheroes. Sometimes there's very little, and sometimes, it's full horror. Um, but I can say confidently that, no matter what, my love and my heart will always be with horror all the time. Um, Even if it's I might have a lot of things that I consider myself a fan of. I might have a lot of things that I enjoy and I watch, Star Wars and Lord of the Rings and DC and Marvel. But there would be one thing that will always have my heart, and that's horror. And to see Obsession and Backrooms be number one and two at the box office. I believe Backrooms is number one and Obsession is number two. That makes me happy. That makes me happy. So, congratulations. I haven't seen either one of them yet. I will eventually, but just seeing them there, I think it's something special for horror. And I might be wrong, but last year, the most profitable movie from the cost to make to how much it made at the box office was Weapons, I believe. I might be wrong. If I am, I apologize for misspeaking. Or maybe at one point it was, and I don't have it in front of me. But I do remember hearing that Weapons at one point, from not saying it made not saying it made the most money overall, but like a Marvel movie. A Marvel movie can make 500, 600,000, no, thousand, Jesus, 500, $600 million. But if it costs $250 million to make, kind of like, that's, kind of just breaking even. My movie like Weapons can maybe only make a fraction of that. Let's say like it made like $100 million. But if it only costs, let's say, $1 million to make, that's a huge return on investment. So I don't have the figures in front of me. I'm not gonna pretend to know, but I do believe Weapons was the most profitable movie in relation to its budget to how much it made at the box office. If that makes any sense. The horror is doing very well right now, and that makes me happy. I was thinking of doing another series of videos. I have a big, not as big as some people's, but a very modestly large physical media collection. I like to do maybe a video, maybe a 5-minute video on different esoteric and little known horror movies that deserve a little more attention. Think about doing that, I might at some point. That's something I've been thinking about doing, because there's so many out there that I don't think get enough love or get talked about enough that deserve to be, looked at. But anyway, thank you guys for watching. I'd love to hear everyone's thoughts. If you're a football fan like me, what do you think about the trades? I think, overall, I think good compensation for good players. Like Myles Garrett is heading towards the twilight of his career. So one first round draft pick does sound about right. AJ Brown's a little bit older, receiver. So a first and a fifth, it seems about right for him. I still think he has some left in the tank. I still think he can be a good player, and I think they both go on good competitive teams where they can really have a chance to. Especially Myles Garrett. AJ has his Super Bowl ring. Myles Garrett has a chance to go out on top, and I think that's special. And if you're a Knicks fan, I I don't want to get too excited. I've been heartbroken so many times, especially during the Carmelo, Anthony, years. I thought we were going to do better than what we did. Um, so that was a disappointment. So we're finally there. First time this, not first time this century. So like I said, last time they were there was the late '90s. I don't know. I don't want to get too excited. So if you're a Knicks fan, you know how I feel. And finally, if you saw Spider-Noir, what did you think? Did you like it? I loved it. I thought it looked I thought it was amazing. And Green Lantern. So Green Lantern. I'm or is it lanterns? Well, no, lanterns. Um, I'm more excited for it now than I was previously. Put it like that. Oh, Mandalorian Grogu came out. Um, Look, I'll be honest. I don't have the money to go see it. I mean, I do, but I can spend it on my kids. Because I know my kids are Star Wars fans. They don't want to go see it, and I can buy other stuff. Especially the cost of gas and everything. I'll wait for it to come out. Um, I've heard mixed things. No one's completely hated it. No one's completely loved it. Everyone had very similar sentiments. Eh, that's not caused me to go rush out to the theater to see it. So I'll probably see what eventually comes out. Being that it dropped, I think I heard 70 something percent in the second weekend. It won't be in the theater much longer. So I don't have to wait too long to see it probably. Maybe a couple more weeks and they're going to just pull the plug on that thing. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. Have a good one. We'll see you next time.